All right. So are you ready to dive into some serious motivation today?
Always.
So you guys sent us this incredible clip
Yeah.
from the Spanish YouTube channel Peliculacia. And it's called Don't Be Mediocre, Start Again, Motivation in Movies. And it's basically this like super inspiring montage of movie clips and voiceovers.
Oh, wow.
All in Spanish.
Okay.
To deliver this like, really powerful message.
I love it.
But don't worry, we got the English translation for you so you can experience it too.
Right.
Discover some of these like hidden cinematic gems
Right.
that might not have hit your radar otherwise.
Definitely.
So,
I'm really fascinated. I mean, one of the things that strikes me right away is how this video, like, blends this high-energy visual language of these films with this really thought-provoking narration.
right.
It really grabs your attention.
It's like a cinematic pep talk, but like with this like depth
Mm-hmm.
that really makes you think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and one of the first things that I noticed is how it frames the concept of self-improvement as like this epic battle.
So interesting.
It doesn't beat around the bush.
Ah.
It comes right out and says, you are your own biggest obstacle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's such a powerful reminder because a lot of times the biggest challenges we face are the ones that come from within, right?
Yeah, that's such a key insight, isn't it? It's not about overcoming these external adversaries.
Right.
It's about conquering that inner voice. That one that whispers these doubts
Oh, yeah.
and urges us to settle for, like, mediocrity.
Yeah.
And there's this great phrase in the video, the only victory that counts is the victory over yourself.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
It's so good, right?
It's like we're all engaged in this internal struggle, this battle against our own limitations.
Exactly. And that's where those visuals come in because it
Yeah.
uses all this, like the language of warriors and battles.
Yes.
To really drive that point home, and it taps into our primal understanding of struggle
Yeah.
and elevates this like internal conflict to something epic.
Oh, it's so effective.
Right.
Like it makes you feel like you're part of something bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're on this heroic quest
Yeah.
to like unlock your full potential.
It's so true.
But it doesn't shy away from the fact that this journey is going to be tough.
Oh, no, not at all. In fact, there's this line that I wrote down.
Oh, yeah.
The price is facing that weak self every day. The self that prefers comfort, mediocrity, that looks for shortcuts, and gives up at the first difficulty.
Ooh, that's so real. Like
Right.
we all have those moments where we choose the easy path.
Of course, yeah.
But this video reminds us that true growth happens when we confront that weak self
Exactly.
and make the choice to push forward.
Absolutely. And it connects that idea, that discomfort, to the concept of discipline.
Oh, interesting.
It's not just about, like, enduring hardship just because.
Right, right.
It's about, developing the mental fortitude to do what needs to be done, even when it's challenging.
Yeah, it says, what destroys the weak self is discipline. Doing what you need to do even when you don't feel like it. When you are tired, when it hurts.
Wow.
That's powerful, right?
It is.
It's about building those daily habits, those consistent actions
Yeah,
that move us closer to our goals.
that's so true. And, this isn't just about willpower.
Okay,
This is about, creating systems
okay.
and structures
Interesting.
that support our efforts. Like, if you want to eat healthier,
Yeah.
you don't just rely on willpower every time you open the fridge.
Right. Of course, yeah.
You stock your kitchen with healthy options. You
Yeah.
plan your meals. You create an environment that makes it easier to make the right choice.
That's such a good point. It's like setting ourselves up for success.
Right.
Yeah, and the video emphasizes that those small, consistent actions
Yeah.
driven by discipline
Mm,
are what ultimately lead to like lasting change.
absolutely.
Right? It even uses this metaphor of building a fortress of mental strength.
Oh, wow.
Right.
I love that.
It's about developing that resilience, that ability to withstand challenges
Yeah.
and setbacks
Right.
without crumbling.
Without falling apart.
Okay, so we've talked about this like internal battle,
Mm-hmm.
the price of greatness,
Yeah.
and the power of discipline.
Yes.
But the video also touches on something I think even deeper.
Oh, okay.
This idea of legacy and the impact our actions have on ourselves.
Oh, that's so interesting. Tell me more about that.
So it shifts the focus
Okay.
from external validation
Wow.
to internal fulfillment.
Hmm.
And there's this line, what you do in life echoes in eternity, not for the world, not for others, but for yourself.
Wow.
Right? That really struck me.
Yeah.
It's suggesting that our actions are shaping something like much bigger
Yeah.
than just our immediate circumstances. It's like we're building a legacy of self-respect, of knowing we showed up.
Right.
We gave it our all.
It's almost like we're creating this personal narrative, a story of growth
Right.
and resilience that we carry with us throughout our lives.
Exactly. And that story, that sense of self-worth, is something no one can ever take away from us.
That's powerful.
Right. So this video has already given us so much to think about.
I know. It's amazing.
But there's one more crucial element that we need to explore.
Oh, okay.
And it acknowledges those times, those inevitable dark days
Oh, yeah.
we all face when that internal battle feels especially intense.
Right.
And those are the days when doubt creeps in, motivation wanes.
Yeah.
And we'll explore that in the next part of our deep dive. We'll examine how this video encourages us to find meaning and strength, even in the face of adversity.
Oh, I can't wait.
So we were just talking about how this video doesn't really sugarcoat the challenges on the path to self-improvement. Like, it acknowledges those dark days, right?
Yeah, it's refreshing, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
instead of these empty platitudes, it just dives right into that struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a line that really struck me. Sometimes you will face dark days, days where nothing seems to work, where progress is slow, and doubts scream at you in your head.
Oh, it's so honest, right?
Yeah.
Those days when you question everything. Like, is it even worth it?
Yeah, exactly. But, what's crucial here is what comes next. It reminds us that these moments are not a sign of weakness,
Right.
but just a natural part of growth.
Okay.
That it's in those moments of adversity that our true commitment is tested.
So how do we navigate those dark days? What does the video suggest we do when those doubts start screaming?
Well, it circles back to that idea of building that fortress of mental strength.
Okay.
It's about developing that resilience, that inner fortitude that allows us to kind of weather any storm.
Yep.
It's about, having the tools and the mindset to pick ourselves up and keep going even when we don't see those immediate results.
This makes me think about, like, the concept of grit. Like that ability to persevere in the face of setbacks.
Oh, that's a great connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, the video uses this powerful image of training, not just our bodies,
Right.
but like our souls,
Okay.
our will, our indomitable spirit.
Wow.
It's about building a version of ourselves that can, handle anything life throws our way.
It's like those training montages you see in sports movies,
Yes.
where the athlete is pushing themselves to the absolute limit.
Totally.
They fall, they get back up, they keep pushing.
Yeah.
Knowing that each challenge is making them stronger.
It's about embracing the struggle as this, like, crucible for growth.
Okay.
Understanding that those, dark days, those moments of adversity are actually forging our inner strength.
And the video emphasizes that every small step forward,
Yeah,
every act of discipline is a victory over that weak self.
absolutely. It's a powerful reframing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So instead of getting discouraged by, what we haven't yet achieved, we can find motivation in those small wins,
Okay.
those daily acts of perseverance that build momentum over time.
This reminds me of a quote I love. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It's like breaking down those big, overwhelming goals
Right.
into these smaller, more manageable actions,
Exactly.
focusing on that next right move rather than getting, like, bogged down
Right.
by the sheer magnitude of the journey ahead.
Yeah. And, the video takes it a step further.
Oh, okay.
Challenges us to really confront our motivations,
Mhm.
to ask ourselves, really, cara sesto? Like, do you really want this?
Right.
It's a call to examine why we're pursuing these goals in the first place.
Oh, that's such an important point. Because if our hearts aren't truly in it,
Right.
if we're chasing something that doesn't align with our values or passions,
Good.
those dark days are going to feel a whole lot darker.
Absolutely. And that brings us to, I think, one of the most striking themes in this video.
Yeah.
And that is this idea that we're not just building something for ourselves,
Okay.
but we're actually shaping our own destiny.
Okay.
There's this incredible line. Some say that luck is beyond our control, that we're not masters of destiny, but I know it isn't so. Our destiny lives inside us. We only need to be brave enough to see it.
Whoa, that's a bold statement.
Right.
Like, they're saying that we're not just passive passengers
Yeah.
on this journey called life.
Exactly.
That we have the power to, like, choose our direction,
Right.
to navigate the challenges.
Right.
and to ultimately create the future we desire.
It's a rejection of that victim mentality.
Right.
This idea that we're just at the mercy of these external forces.
Yeah.
Instead, it's about taking ownership
Okay.
of our lives and making choices that align with the vision that we have for ourselves.
It's recognizing that, yeah, while we can't control everything that happens to us,
Right.
we can control how we respond, how we learn, and how we move forward.
It's all about the response.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where that true power lies.
Precisely. And the video, it doesn't just leave us with this kind of abstract sense of empowerment.
Right.
It gives us some concrete strategies. Remember that line about how the real winner is the one who doesn't stop?
Mm-hmm.
It's a call to relentless forward motion,
Yeah.
even when faced with adversity.
It's like the video's saying, yes, it's going to be tough. Yes, you're going to stumble. But get back up, dust yourself off, and keep going. Because the only way to truly fail is to give up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it emphasizes that this isn't just about blind persistence.
Yeah.
It's about, strategic action,
Mm.
about breaking down those big goals
Okay.
into smaller, more manageable steps,
Yeah.
focusing on the process,
Yeah.
on making consistent progress rather than getting, overwhelmed by the enormity of the task.
It's like the video's saying, don't try to climb the entire mountain in one go. Just focus on taking the next step and then the next. Eventually, you'll reach the summit.
And remember all that imagery of warriors and battles.
Yes.
It's a reminder that, achieving our goals takes courage.
Mm.
It takes resilience.
Right.
It's about embracing that struggle as a necessary part of growth.
Right.
Understanding that those challenges are what shape us into the people we're meant to be.
It's like we're not just, casually strolling towards our dreams, but we're actively fighting for them, right?
Yes.
Pushing through obstacles,
Yeah.
refusing to back down.
Totally.
And the reward, as this video suggests, is that incredible sense of accomplishment,
Right.
that comes from knowing we've conquered those inner limitations
Mm-hmm.
and achieved something truly meaningful.
That feeling of pride
Yes.
and self-respect, that deep sense of self-belief, that comes from knowing you didn't give up on yourself even when things got tough.
Mm.
That's what makes the journey worthwhile.
Okay, so we've explored how this video encourages us to embrace the struggle,
Yeah.
to cultivate resilience,
Yes.
and to take ownership of our destiny.
Absolutely.
But there's one more powerful theme we need to unpack. The idea that true fulfillment comes not from external validation, but from the journey itself.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. We've talked about conquering our inner demons, pushing through those dark days, and even shaping our own destiny.
Amazing. Yeah.
But this video it takes it a step further. It suggests that real satisfaction comes from the journey itself,
Oh, wow.
not just the end goal.
That is such a profound shift in perspective.
Yeah.
It challenges us to kind of redefine what success actually means.
Mm.
So instead of fixating on reaching this specific destination,
Right.
it encourages us to find that joy and that meaning in the process of growth and self-discovery.
So it's not about the trophy. It's about who you become,
Yeah, exactly.
in the process
Exactly.
of striving for it.
Laterally.
It's about embracing those challenges and those setbacks
Right.
and the lessons learned along the way.
And that resonates with so many wisdom traditions, right?
Yeah.
Think about the concept of the journey is the reward.
Yes.
It's about recognizing that true fulfillment comes from actively engaging
Yeah.
in that process.
Yeah.
From pushing our boundaries and evolving into the best versions of ourselves.
It's so easy to get caught up
Oh, I know.
in chasing those external markers of success, right?
Yeah.
The promotions, the awards.
The recognition.
Yeah, the recognition. But this video, it's inviting us to shift that focus inward,
Right.
to find satisfaction in the daily pursuit of our goals, regardless of the outcome.
It's about appreciating, those small victories,
Right.
the moments of growth, the resilience we build
Yeah.
as we kind of navigate the inevitable, ups and downs.
Yeah. Right.
It's about finding the joy in the act of creating,
Yeah.
of striving.
Of becoming.
Yeah.
So
So how do we actually cultivate this mindset,
right. That's a great question.
this ability to find fulfillment,
Yeah.
in the journey itself?
Yeah.
Especially when we're bombarded with these messages that emphasize achievement
Oh, totally.
and external validation.
Constantly.
So what does the video say?
Well, the video encourages us, first of all, to embrace discomfort,
Okay.
to push past our limits, to consistently choose growth over complacency, you
Okay.
know? So it's about actively participating
Yeah.
in the process rather than like passively hoping
Right.
for this outcome.
Mm.
It's about showing up
Yeah.
every day and giving it our all, even when we don't feel like it.
So it's not just about like setting a goal and then waiting for like, the magic to happen.
Exactly.
It's about finding those small moments of satisfaction
Yeah.
along the way. Yeah, those little tiny victories
Right.
that fuel our motivation
Yes.
and keep us going.
Keep us moving forward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, let's say your goal is to write a novel.
Okay.
Okay. So instead of focusing solely on finishing the book,
Yay.
you find joy in the daily act of writing
Yeah.
and the craft of shaping words into stories. You celebrate completing a chapter.
Oh, yeah.
You revel in that flow state,
Yeah.
when the words are just pouring onto the page.
I love that analogy. It's about shifting like our attention from the destination
Yeah.
to the journey.
To the journey.
You
Yeah.
know? Finding those sparks of joy
Mm-hmm.
in the everyday pursuit of our passions.
Totally.
And I think this mindset can be applied to like any goal,
Oh, absolutely.
whether it's personal, professional, or creative.
It's about recognizing that the true value
Hmm.
lies in the effort, the dedication, the resilience that we cultivate along the way.
Yes.
It's about embracing that journey as an integral part of the reward.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
let's bring it back to you, the listener. This wasn't just about getting pumped up or reciting motivational quotes, right?
No.
It was about like exploring a deeper philosophy of personal growth.
Yeah.
One that recognizes the power of the journey
Yes.
and the importance of finding fulfillment
Absolutely.
in the process itself.
In the process.
We explored how this video encourages us to like embrace the struggle,
Right.
to
Yeah.
cultivate discipline, and to find joy in the pursuit of our goals. But most importantly, it reminds us that we all have the potential
Yes.
for greatness, and that unlocking that potential, it starts with a single step.
Starts with a single step. And as you go out into your world today,
Yeah.
we want to leave you with this thought.
Yes.
What is one small action
Yeah.
you can take today to push past that comfort zone, to engage in the process of becoming the person you want to be? Remember, every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating.
Keep striving, keep growing, and keep believing in your own incredible potential.
Yes.
Until next time.
Keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep.